the center of the gaming universe.
Today on X-Play, we have an exclusive hands-on demo of Dark Sector and give you a first look at a never-before-seen level. Plus, Mr. Sark is here with a brand new gamer challenge, testing your skills in an explosive Halo 3 triathlon. And we'll talk with Jonathan Colton, the musician behind Portal's amazing theme song. Stay alive, it's game time!
Filling in for Morgan, who's on assignment in Bolivia.
Yes, she is, and I'm Adam Cecil. We're coming to you from the GeForce Studios on Thursday, February 28th. And hold on one second before you do anything else. Come on, Adam.
Adam is so multi-talented. He can play the club and introduce the show at the same time. I'm impressed.
Yes, but I can't dress myself. And with that, let's tell you what's on the show. We have an exclusive hands-on look at the gory Dark Sector.
And Mr. Sark is back with another Halo 3 gamer challenge for all those wannabe triathletes out there. Plus, we'll talk with Jonathan Colton, the man behind every gamer's favorite song, Still Alive. But first, I'm going to have to push you on out of here, Adam, so you can give us the latest headlines and the gaming update.
Yeah, but it's wireless. Thank you, Kristen. New rumors regarding Sony's virtual playground Home have recently surfaced. While the ambitious project is still currently in beta, Home is rumored to feature unique portals to many of the console's biggest games, including Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Resistance Fall of Man, and Warhawk. Fingers are currently pointing at everything from a 2D side-scrolling Uncharted minigame to exploring unseen sections of levels from Resistance. Also rumored is up to 8 Warhawk pilots would be able to meet in a war room to discuss their strategies and launch games without having to access Home's interface. Now, Activision CEO Bobby Kotick recently commented on the pending deal between Electronic Arts and Take-Two Interactive at a conference in Las Vegas. In regards to a possible acquisition, Kotick said that Take-Two did not fulfill their requirements. Kotick said that good management, proprietary technology, and a history of profitability are just a few of the criteria Activision takes into account when considering an acquisition. Now, good news for anyone interested in taking a crack at level design. Capcom has just started a contest allowing gamers to design a challenge room for the upcoming Xbox Live Arcade game Bionic Commando Rearmed. All you need to do is create a simple drawing mimicking the game's basic platforms, air vents, and spike blocks. Then email your creation to Capcom. The winner of the contest will have their level featured in the game, and their name will appear in the credits. The contest ends Wednesday, March 12th, so get cracking. For more on rumors, hot button issues, or whatever else is on my mind, check out the Cecil Soapbox. You'll find it exclusively online at g4tv.com/soapbox. But now let's go over to Kristen, who has our latest review.
Thanks, Adam. The Dragon...
Coming up on X-Play, calling all Spartan athletes, Mr. Sark has a Halo 3 gamer challenge just for you. Then, we have an exclusive hands-on look at the bloody sci-fi shooter Dark Sector. And we'll talk to Portal's musical mastermind, Jonathan Colton.
Brought to you by the U.S. Navy. Navy, accelerating your life.
Welcome back to X-Play. Right before GDC, Mr. Sark issued a Burn Up Paradise challenge that asks you to stop his homicidal rampage against the diesel vans cruising Paradise City. Well, many of you gassed up and tried to catch this predator, and here's how the whole thing shook down. Last week, Mr. Sark issued a cry for help. His wanton destruction of Paradise City's roving diesel ads had gotten out of control, and he needed an intervention. Lucky for the diesel vans, there is no shortage of you who are willing to put Mr. Sark into the wall. The most successful road warrior was Overhunter. He was a case of fighting crazy with crazy, as this rabid dog chased down our own hipster gene-hating madman. Ouch. To unwind, Sark led his entourage to the airfield for some relaxing stunts. Yori proved an apt trickster, as he barrel-rolled his hillbilly truck through the fuselage sections. Dusty the Hammer also gets a mention here for doing the same in his child molester van. For the coup de grace, Mr. Sark organized an epic race. A single lap around the entire city in reverse. The game says this race will normally take 13 minutes. Yori did it backwards in 11. One more thing. Mr. Sark asked me to tell you that he has finally made peace with the diesel vans. They trouble him no more. But those god-awful Gillette vans are really starting to annoy him. Here we go again.
Congratulations to all the winners. Enjoy those t-shirts. Now, if you find yourself bare-chested, don't worry. Mr. Sark is back with another gamer challenge and another chance at those oh-so-coveted tees.
Hey, X-Players. Mr. Sark here in X-Play's Game Lab. You Halo 3 players out there had your wheelman skills tested on my Sark kart course. But a real Spartan needs to do more than just putt around on an ATV. If you think you're a UNSC Top Gun, then my advanced training course, the Sarkathlon, should be right up your alley. This timed course will take you from station to station, where you'll perform such tasks as gravity hammer climbing, sniper school, and precision grenade throwing. Training practice. Here's how you play. First, make sure you have the recently released map pack. This course uses forge items only available on the new maps. Next, log in with your gamer tag to Bungie.net, then go to the Halo 3 page. Look me up on the People Finder. Open my file share and download both Sarkathlon files. Once these have downloaded to your Xbox, start a custom VIP game of Sarkathlon on the Sarkathlon map. Carefully follow the instructions that are on the map description, then run the course as fast as you can. If you don't complete all the stations properly, you're disqualified. Once you're done, save the film to your file share and recommend it to me. And you know the drill from here. The fastest times win fame and t-shirts. So if either of those things interest you, then you should really try and win.
All right, Mr. Sark, I'm just gonna be honest. That looks like kind of insanely hard out there, but I know that we have viewers out there and give it a shot. And I have to ask you, have you been training for the Sarkathlon?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so with all the benching and squatting I've been doing.
You're wearing like 10, 12 t-shirts under there, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
I have got to try that. Anyway, grab the map and get to it. Good luck, Spartans. You're gonna need it. Let's send it back over to Kristen.
Thanks, Adam. We have to take a break, but first, we've got an X poll for you. What's your favorite God of War series boss battle? Is it A, the Hydra from the original God of War, B, the Colossus from God of War 2, or C, Clotho, also from God of War 2? Log on to g4tv.com/xplay and let us know.
Up next on X-Play, we get an exclusive hands-on of Dark Sector and reveal an unseen chapter in the game's story. Plus, we have an all-access pass to visit Jonathan Colton, the man behind Portal's unforgettable song, Still Alive. Don't move.
The Wii was built with Bluetooth technology. My question is there any chance that Nintendo is going to be pulling out that kind of technology for anything like, you know, Bluetooth headsets for video games?
Welcome back to X-Play, and thank you for your question, Brandon. This is a very, very good question. Obviously, yes, there is Bluetooth technology inside of the Wii. They have not mentioned anything about a Bluetooth headset, and while it's a complete possibility, Nintendo doesn't always do what seems to be the obvious thing that you would like them to do. Obviously, the Wii Zapper is an excellent example of that. So I want it. I would not hold your breath for it. Just try to yell loudly, and then you can play with your friends. Anyway, while I try to remember my Wii's friend code, let's go over to Kristen.
Good advice, Adam. If you had the ability to feel no pain, what would you do? Extreme sports? Get back together with your ex? The protagonist of Dark Sector decides to work for the CIA. It's a messy job, as you'll see in our exclusive hands-on demo.
Digital Extremes is set to release Dark Sector, a gritty third-person action title with a sci-fi twist. The game lets players control Hayden Tenno, a CIA operative who has a medical condition that allows him to feel no pain. After a mission leaves him infected with the mysterious technocyte virus, Hayden finds himself possessing superhuman abilities, not to mention a deadly weapon that'll become essential for survival, the glaive, the craziest weapon this side of Crawl. Joining us today from D3, Publisher of America, Mike Sharnico. Welcome so much.
Thank you very
Welcome
much.
for being here. Thank you so much for being here as well.
You.
So let's just get a little bit of the backstory of Dark Sector. Obviously, there's a sci-fi element, and it's in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, Dark Sector is actually a great new third-person action game that we have coming out. And in the game, you play as a character named Hayden Tenno, who is this kind of CIA agent, and he's sent in on a mission into the city that you play in, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and he's infected while he's there with this virus, and this gives him the powers that he kind of has through the rest of the game. So it's got this sort of sci-fi horror setting, but it's also set in modern day, so there's a lot of very relatable things in it for people. So you get in there, and it's this sort of environment that you'll know and is very recognizable, but at the same time has these really crazy elements of, you know, infected creatures and superpowers and that type of thing going on.
Now, obviously, this is a level that we haven't seen before. Is this a little bit later in the game? What are we looking at?
Yeah, this is a little bit towards the middle of the game. This is after Hayden has gotten a couple of his powers. You'll get 3 throughout the game, and basically this is where you're first going to kind of come across these guys called the Stingers, and they're these soldiers that have been infected by this technocyte virus, and they're really agile, super fast. They can jump around all over the place, and as you can see, they fire these huge darts out of their hands at you, and they'll also basically they can jump up on you and attack you. And so they're really tough to fight because they're constantly moving all over the place, and they're pretty brutal.
Now, one of the biggest hooks about this is the glaive, which is like an amazing, powerful weapon. How does it work, and how do you utilize it in the game?
The glaive is actually the first of the powers that you'll get after you become infected, and it's something that, you know, when Hayden initially gets it, he doesn't really know how to use it, doesn't know what he's doing with it, and it's really reacts sort of instinctively when he's attacked. It's sort of like a defensive mechanism that sort of takes over his body. And as you go throughout the game, you'll actually learn how to use it, gain more skills with it, and get better at using it. And basically what it is a giant throwing blade disc that kind of grows out of your hand, and you can throw it out. And as you get later in the game, you'll actually be able to control it in flight, which is really cool to do because you can kind of, you know, guide it around corners and, you know, hit specific parts on the enemies and that type of thing. And it also is really great for doing a lot of the cool finisher moves we have, so you can kind of get people with it or chop off arms and that type of thing. So it's a pretty brutal weapon, but it's really fun to use because you have a lot of control over it, and it's sort of an extension of you as the character as well.
Now, obviously, you also have guns in the game, but with the glaive being so powerful, what's the balancing mechanism where you can't use it all the time?
Well, you know, it's one of those things where you throw it out, and depending on how far it goes out, you got to wait for it to come back. So, you know, there's going to be times you throw it out, and you're kind of left, you know, without a weapon. So you can actually use your gun at the same time. We have a dual wielding system in there where you can use the gun and the glaive. So you can throw the glaive out, and while it's out, you can actually shoot people with the guns and that type of thing. And then there's times as well where there's some enemies that, you know, you're going to want to be able to use the guns on because it's, you know, it's more effective weapon against them. So you can kind of stun them with the glaive, switch to your gun, and shoot them, and get a good mix of the different types of things. We really want to give people, you know, sort of different ways to play through the game and give them options. So some people might really want to just run through with the guns and shoot everything, and you can definitely do that. You'll still have to use the glaive. Some people just like the brutality of the glaive and being able to, you know, chop arms off and that type of thing.
Now, it's a very attractive game. I think there's even more going on there. What's the kind of tech that was designed underneath Dark Sector?
The actual technology itself is proprietary for this game. It was built specifically for this game. So this is a brand new engine. It's called the Evolution engine. It was developed by Digital Extremes for this title. And yeah, as you can see, it's a beautiful game. We feel that it stands up there with anything else that's out there on the market and really, you know, pushes the envelope in terms of graphical, you know, quality. And it's something that's great. As you can see, you know, the lighting's amazing and the shadows, and we feel that it really helps people just get immersed in the game and give it that extra level of sort of believability, you know, given the premise of the title.
And when can we expect to be playing this game?
March 25th. So
all right.
We're getting there. We're almost there.
Great.
So we hope everybody goes out and picks a copy up.
I think I will. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mike. All right, now let's head it back over to Kristen.
Thanks, Adam. When X-Play returns, we'll talk with singer-songwriter Jonathan Colton about Portal. But first, let's take a look at the online Pele's in today's leaderboard for FIFA Street 3.
X-Play, one of iTunes' best podcasts of 2007.
Welcome back to X-Play. Now, earlier we asked, what's your favorite God of War boss battle? Well, the current leader with 48% is your mom. No, I'm joking. It's Colossus, your first encounter of God of War 2. But now let's go over to Kristen for your daily dose of music.
Stop talking about my mama. If you're lucky enough to have finished Portal, you know the thrill of hearing the melodious tune that comes at the end. We love it so much, we tracked down Jonathan Coulton, the man behind the robotic voice.
The following X-Play segment contains spoilers. Don't say we didn't warn you.
Mention Portal to anyone who's played it, and their response is likely to include one of two references. One to the fraudulent nature of cake, and of course, one to the song.
Hard to overstate my satisfaction.
We caught up with John Coulton, the composer of Still Alive, for the lowdown on a computer named GLaDOS and the song that not only defined her, but made for one of the most satisfying endings in recent gaming.
In figuring out how this song was going to fit in with this character and with the game, we talked extensively about who she was, where she was coming from, and how she was going to be feeling at the end of the game. And so we talked a great deal about her, and I really just tried to get inside her head and think about what her state of mind was going to be at the end of the game. And knowing what I knew about who she was, what song she would sing.
I'm not even angry.
So well is that I'm writing that kind of song all the time. All my characters are passive-aggressive, crazy monsters who sort of don't understand what the big deal is about them being monsters. And they're misunderstood, and they're also a little bit sad, it was just a perfect matchup. They were already writing that character in the game, so it was very easy for me to find her voice.
The Enrichment Center reminds you that the weighted companion cube will never threaten to stab you.
Monster or not, it's clear from her final bitter refrain that we haven't heard the last of GLaDOS or Portal.
The nice thing about games these days is that it's a new storytelling medium, and we're all still figuring out how to use it to tell stories. And I think Portal is a great example of what can be done. I think it can be a really powerful thing if you approach it the right way. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Still alive, still alive.
You know, that swelling of my knee either means rain or it's time for next play replay. On today's show, we review Dragon Quest Swords for the Wii. The environments may be well rendered, but you really can't explore, and the controls are weak. This dragon only coughs up 2 fireballs out of 5.
We're powering down for today, but be here tomorrow for another all-new show at 8. We have a special treat when X-Play presents the 8th Annual Game Developers Choice Awards. We'll take you inside this exclusive event and bring you interviews with Ken Levine, Sid Meier, and the team from Portal.
And on Monday, we'll see what it's like to kill for money and fun in our review of Army of 2. And next week, would you like some portable Halo? Well, we check out Ben Heckerdorn's Xbox Laptop Workshop in our Will Work for Games series.
Also back next week, Bob and Steve. You're welcome.
Yeah, nice of us. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.